everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. It's time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 428. And it's getting close to Christmas. It is getting close to Christmas. Oh my gosh, just one more week. And in fact, Christmas falls on a Saturday this year. What to do, what to do. So while you may be watching this YouTube Saturday morning, 8 a.m. sunny California time, 11 a.m. in New York, or 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom, when we are live chatting over here, well, I think for Christmas, we're gonna wait till Sunday. Yeah, I think we'll do the live chat on December 26th. I think I'll put the sale out on December 25th. I'll just load it because I can do it from home. But I think that the YouTube will premiere on Sunday, the 26th at 8 a.m. sunny California time, 11 a.m. in New York, or 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. And then the following week, it's the same thing. Only I think we're just going to keep it on New Year's Day. I think I'm going to live chat New Year's Day, and we're just going to go for it and see what happens. So we are counting down to Christmas. It is getting very cold and very wet here in sunny California, but boy, do we need the rain. And when I say it's getting very cold, I'm like I'm like hunkered up, man. I've got my plaid on with my lined jacket, and I've got a shirt under that. It's like, I don't know, maybe 55, 60 degrees outside. For us, that is stay at home and put your snuggly on and read a good book or watch a movie. In California, that is cold. I know that lots of you that are back east or overseas are laughing at me right now. You're like, that's shorts weather out here. Oh no, not here in sunny California. I mean, we live in a neighborhood, well, we live in a part of California where if you drive an hour one direction, you will be at the beach. And if you drive an hour in the opposite direction, you can be snow skiing. So I live kind of right dead in the middle of all of that. So if I drive an hour towards the west, I'm going to be at the beach. And if I drive an hour towards the east, I could be snow skiing. And gosh, if I really wanted to, I could go to the beach and snow ski all in the same day, assuming traffic would allow. Now let's be clear, an hour in each direction means that traffic is flowing at a normal pace. Out here in sunny California, it is possible that you could go 5 miles in an hour if traffic is really bad. And now all of you are also saying, are you kidding me? Nope, I'm not. So anyway, what do I have for you today? Oh my gosh, I've got Golden Age for you, and it has nothing to do with how old we are, or the fact that I'm 53. No. Aussie Andrew named his newest collection of alcohol ink Golden Age. And I like the golden part. The age I probably could have left off, but as long as he wasn't referring to me. I think Aussie Andrew and I are right about the same age. So I'm like, hey dude, if I'm golden, so are you. So I can't wait to bring that to you. I also have some papers for you to go with alcohol inks. Now it's not going to matter whose alcohol inks you have. The paper's going to work with all of them. And one of the papers in particular was very interesting to me. I was like, I have ideas, I have thoughts, and hopefully you see my ideas and my thoughts, and it may just become my new go-to for alcohol ink paper. It may, because I have options, and I'm the girl who likes options. So I also have for you a bundle from Stampendous. When Peggy and Fran say, Stacy, it's gotta go, I'm like, oh, I am so your girl. What needs to go? I have got 2 Stampin Die Sets that are beautiful. All of our samples were made with them. They're at better than a buy one get one free price. They're limited because I only have so many, and well, what did they say? Stacy, they need to go. And I'm like, yeah, ooh, can't wait. And I love the sets. There's dragonflies and butterflies and birds and birdhouses and nests. And I mean, how do you go wrong with that, right? Right. So I have, what else do I have for you? I've got tools and papers and alcohol inks and just a ton of stuff to play with. But before we get there, let me do winner, winner, chicken dinner. I have 2 winners here that posted a very kind comment, or at least a comment that I could approve last week. And okay, so what's a comment that I can approve? Hey Stacy, how are you doing? Or gosh, we had hamburgers for dinner, my husband barbecued, they came out great. Or I had a wonderful day at work today. Or you know, traffic was horrible, but I listened to you on my way home. Or traffic was horrible, but I listened to my favorite book on tape. Do they even do book on tapes anymore? Maybe it's just maybe you just like get it through your phone. Or I had a horrible day at work today, but I heard my favorite Christmas song on the way home. It can be just about anything. Now, I did approve a comment a couple weeks ago. I talked to Claire about this and the girls downstairs. I did approve a comment a couple weeks ago where the comment was so nice. It was like my grandma, Grandma Ferber. She was the queen of like backhanded compliments. I mean, whether she knew she was doing, I have to believe she knew she was doing it, but she would look at you and she would say something like, oh my gosh, I just love that outfit. It's a beautiful outfit you're wearing. Somebody a little older than you would normally wear though, don't you think? Or that's a beautiful, beautiful color. It would look so much better on your sister. Now, I love my Grandma Ferber. I do. And she was absolutely amazing. And I have wonderful memories of my Grandma Ferber and my Grandpa Ferber. He passed away when I was in, I think, 4th grade. And See's Candy, all sorts of stuff with my Grandma Ferber. But that's one of the things I remember. So this comment was, oh, Stacy, I'm so glad I found your channel. I lost you. I haven't been watching for quite some time because I lost your channel and I couldn't figure out my way back, and things like that happen. And she says, I found you and I'm so glad and I've bookmarked you. And then she wrote, your face has gotten round, hasn't it? Maybe. Now I approve that. It's like, yeah, the chocolate ice cream was delicious. Your face got a little round, hadn't it? Aw. What do they say? What do they say? Bless your heart. So all of those are able to be approved. What isn't able to be approved is anything that is going to hurt somebody's feelings, including mine. So if there's an SMS sample that you didn't particularly care for, I'm not going to let the SMS girls know you didn't care for it. No, they put a lot of love and time and I mean, they really go at it with these samples to give you the best that they've got. Or, I don't know. It's just kind of funny what people write sometimes. You just have to love them, because I'm sure that this lady was being so kind. She wasn't intending to say anything that would be hurtful, which is why I approved it, because you could read that it wasn't meant to be hurtful. But it was just like, oh, are we related? Because that sounds a lot like my Grandma Ferber. All right, you guys, so winner, chicken dinner. Are you ready? Okay, our first winner is, I know this person. Actually, I think I know one of them well, and I know one of them because they're longtime customers and we've never met, but I know them through this. Okay, our first winner is Deborah Clark. Hello, Deborah Clark. How are you doing? Congratulations, my friend. You are a winner, chicken dinner. This is an online credit, Deborah. You can't, Debbie, you can't come in the store and spend it. Spend it online. It goes into your online account. So she's a local. I just wanted to make sure she knew that. But do the winner, winner, winner chicken dinner dance. All right, our next one is Betty. Betty Corson. Hello, Betty Corson. How are you doing today? You also are a winner, winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and I know you're an online customer, so no problem. That is in your online account right now. Go have fun. Spend it any way that makes your heart happy, and we'll do the winner, winner chicken dinner dance. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. Wahoo. Ka-choo. For you. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. I'm so happy for the both of you. And, you know, maybe it's the chicken dinner. I like Popeyes. I like KFC. I like El Pollo Loco. Who knows? Anyway, you guys post your comments. We'll approve them. And we'll go into the running for a winner, winner chicken dinner next week. And next week we will be live. I'm going to start the sale on Christmas. It happens that Christmas falls on a Saturday, so I'm going to start the sale on Christmas, but we're going to live chat on Sunday the 26th. So the sale I have for you will be on Simply Defined and Simply Refined. We're closing out what's left of the old stuff, so it will be an amazing sale. I will start it on Christmas, 8 a.m. sunny California time, but we will do the premiere. The YouTube will not be visible until Sunday, 8 a.m. sunny California time, when we live chat. And so it's just a day later, but I'll start the sale early just in case. So if you want to go on and look, and you go right ahead, and then I'll see you on Sunday. All right, you guys? Okay, I'm going to tilt down. I'm going to get started for today. And I'm just going to say, Grandma Ferber, if you're up there, I hope you're having a piece of See's candy for me right now. Of course, I have some See's candy at home, but that might just make it a little rounder. But you know what? I don't have the, you know, if I just keep eating, the wrinkles just, they kind of just fill in. There's the benefit, right? I found the silver lining. All right, down I go, you guys. I'll see you when we're done. Bye. Okay, so let's zoom on in. Down and maybe tilt just a little and zoom on in. I know, not very high tech. I'm the only one here. I'm the cameraman, the sound man, the IT man, the video production crew. What you see is what you get here. So here's one of the first samples. Look at that. That's pretty wonderful, huh? So there's the sentiment. That is a Stampendous stamp and die that's on one of the sets. And then this is Golden Age alcohol glitter. Alcohol ink glitter. It's amazing. Okay, so there's that one. Then I have this one for you. Ooh, same thing. Those dragonflies are part of one of the Stampendous stamp and die sets that I have for you. That's value priced. And then we've got the Golden Age alcohol ink. That's got that beautiful glitter built into it. Isn't that pretty? And I believe the scent, I don't know where they came with the sentiments. I think the sentiments we pulled from our stash. But look at how pretty. Okay, last one. So the bird, the nest, the eggs, the birdhouse all came from a Stampendous set that we'll have for you. The better than buy one, get one. And then Ozzy Andrew, Couture Creations, Golden Age alcohol ink with the golden glitter in it. Okay, are we ready to start? Good. Now, what do I want to start with? Well, I think I'm just going to show you these so you know about them. So if you want to go get them, because we are limited, these are the two sets that I have for Stampendous. I have a third stamp that we may use. It'll be up on a YouTube Yummy, but it's not part of the bundle. So I think this retailed for $16.99. And this one retailed for $16.99, so you have all the stamps, you've got the dies. So I think we're doing the two of them for $12.99. Get both for $12.99. And I think if we have, I know I put a few of them in open stock for like $6.99 each, which if they're supposed to be $16.99, that's $34. $34 for $12.99, not a bad deal. And they're useful images. I mean, come on. Birds and butterflies and dragonflies. How do you go wrong with both of those? All right, so I showed you those. I think the first thing I'm going to talk about maybe is paper. And I've got quite a bit of Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink paper. Ooh, this feels thick. That's because I have two of them. That would be why. Now he's got a synthetic paper that would be comparable to a Yupo. I'm going to tilt on back. I believe that is a brand name. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a synthetic alcohol ink paper, which means that it is non-porous and almost feels like a plastic. Could feel like a craft plastic, perhaps. I think this feels a little more papery than craft plastic, but he has white, he has black, he has self-adhesive, and he has transparent. Ooh. So I'm going to show you, I think the best way to do this is maybe to play with each one using the exact same colors, maybe a couple different techniques. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do a couple different techniques on each paper, and then we can compare and see what we think. So right now, this is just his basic synthetic alcohol ink paper. It white on both sides. It doesn't matter which side you use. You can absolutely use one and flip it over. If you don't like it, use the other. But this is just your basic alcohol ink paper. This is not photo paper. So with his alcohol inks that have any kind of a glitter built into them, you cannot use an inexpensive photo paper. It will not work. The glitter will wipe right off. The color will stay, but the glitter will go. So if you have an inexpensive photo paper that you're using with your regular alcohol inks that have no glitter or iridescence to them, then you're fine. But the minute you start adding something like a glitter into it is where the problem comes to be. Now, I think I'm just going to start with the most basic thing, and that's probably spouncing. So I've got my little alcohol ink blender tool, and his comes in a little heart. It's awful cute. Sits like that, really darling. Do you have to have 1,000,000 of these? No, because you change your pad depending on what colors you're using. Can you wash out your pads? Sure, you can. You can run alcohol or hand sanitizer over them and wash them out and use them again. It's really up to you. I usually never clean mine, and when I'm all done, I just chuck them. But there is a way, I will show you a little bit later on, there is refills for this, and there's another way to also refill it if you want. So I'm going to start with a basic spounce, which is I think what most people know about. And so I'm just going to take some of my colors. Now, because this has got glitter in it, and maybe you can even see the glitter on the bottom, because this has got glitter in it, I have to shake it up. And you can hear that there's a little ball in there. That's not normal for an alcohol ink. Normal alcohol ink is just alcohol ink, and you're not having to shake it up because it doesn't have anything in there. But this one has got gold glitter in there, and it really is actual glitter flakes. Okay, I've got a little still down there, but I'm going to let it go. Now, what most people worry about is how much to put down. You have got a super fine tip here. It's almost like if you had Tabasco sauce or something along that lines, where you shake, 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 and you think you've used a lot, but really not so much, because you're just getting little drops out of each time. Now I can put this straight onto my paper and go in and kind of spounce it around. I could put some straight onto my my felt, which is what that is felt, and go in and bounce it around. But then I want to add a different color. So let's go to a blue. And shake, 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 because I want to make sure that that glitter on the bottom is getting dispersed within the liquid in my container. If I don't shake it, the glitter is heavier than the liquid in my bottle. The glitter is heavier, it's a solid, so it's going to sit on the bottom. If I don't shake my bottle and I go to put my blue on my pad or right onto my paper, then I'm just gonna have blue color, which is fine, but I like to have that glitter in there too. So I need to shake it and get it all commingled. And again, I can put some, ooh, Stacy. I can put some straight on my felt pad. And go in and start adding some color. Go in and start adding some color. And when you're spouncing, this is kind of the technique where you have an opportunity to decide to make it look like what you want it to look like. You have control, you have the power in your hand because you've got the applicator that's adding that color. So if you want more color in one area, less color in another area, you have the control to do that. The spouncer is how you do that, the applicator. So if you are somebody who needs to be certain exactly where you're putting your color, you have a plan, you have a thought, you know what you're looking for, then this might be the best alternative of how to add the ink to your project. I'm going to do a few others where we're just going to let it fly by the seat of our pants. Now I haven't changed my pad because I'm using it all on the same, I'm using the same colors, I'm just letting them blend into each other. I'm going to add a little bit of amethyst. Is that amethyst? Yeah, amethyst. And maybe build that color up a little bit and add a little bit of my purple. And maybe a little bit more and get that color a little more built up in certain areas. Until I'm happy. And you can see the gold coming through as this dries, and because it's alcohol ink, it's going to dry fairly quickly. The gold, that glitter, is going to come shining through. And when you're looking straight at it, it's not gold, but when you start to move it, it's gold. I mean, when you're looking at it straight on, it's like, oh, look at, there's something in there, but I don't know what it is. Oh, wow, what is that? And then you start to move it and it's like, oh, hello, here I am, hello. But it doesn't overpower it because you only see it when you move it. I kind of like that. So now if I wanted to come back, because I'm still working with the same colored pad, if I wanted to bring more blue in, I could just throw some blue over the top. And maybe what you've noticed is I haven't played with any blending solution at all. When you're using a synthetic paper, you really don't need a lot of blending solution to make it move. It does a pretty good job all on its own. So what's a blending solution? Well, it is some form of an alcohol. Whether you use a liquid hand sanitizer or you use a rubbing alcohol of some sort, and what it's going to do is it's going to allow that ink to move. So this is where we're at right now. And this was just spouncing. So I'm going to put that right here for right now, and I'm going to do this one super fast, and I'm just going to spounce it, and we're not going to spend too much time because then I'm going to throw some alcohol on it so that you can see what happens. So I'm just going to get in here, and my colors are going to kind of blend already because they're already on my applicator. So you can see I've already got some of the blues and some of the purples going on because it's already on my applicator. let's make sure. So I already got some of this on my pants today. And then I started spraying my pants with hand sanitizer, and Mr. SMS is like, what are you doing? It's like, don't worry. Just pay no attention to the crazy crafter who's spraying her pants with hand sanitizer, but it came out. Okay, and then let's add some purple. So pretty much the same thing I did before. Just bouncing, kind of moving things where I want it, where I want my color. Do I want a lot of negative space? Do I not want negative space? Up to me, I could fill it in and add more color. But I'm going to go ahead and add some alcohol to it. Well, I could take one of the colors here and kind of just drop it. And move it around. And it's just going to kind of sit on top of there because I haven't spounced it. If I don't like that, then I come in, I just spounce, and I'm good. But if I use alcohol, it's a completely different look. Let's just do a very light spray. So now with that very light spray, it's going to start to form little circles and ringlets where that alcohol has landed. Can you see that? It's going to start blending it in. It's going to start moving it and separating it. And that is a totally different look for alcohol ink. Now if I've got a little bit of alcohol on here. If I put some of this blue on, it's going to move because you've got that alcohol as a foundation making things kind of move. And then if I add some alcohol in the middle of my blue, it starts to separate and move. So it's a completely different look once you've added a little bit of alcohol. And it's up to you whether you like it or not, whether you like those little crevices. They almost look like nooks and crannies in there, because that's definitely different than what we have here. Same colors, totally different look. Neither of them is right or wrong. It's just a matter of how much alcohol do you add? Can you start with alcohol and lay some alcohol down? Sure, absolutely you can. So I could have sprayed this with some alcohol. So now I've got it wet, and then I could come back through. And drip on my colors. And spounce if I want, but you can see with that alcohol there, it's automatically separating and making them kind of move. Let's add some blue. So alcohol or no alcohol, it's up to you. See how it's moving because it's got that base of alcohol down there? Or I could bounce it out. Totally different, and you can let them run and move into each other. Bounce. And call it done. Let it dry. So this one we spounced with no alcohol at all. Now it's dry and that glitter doesn't come off. This one, we kind of sprayed with some alcohol and played with it a little bit, still drying in there. And then this one, we started with an alcohol base. So there we have 3, and we're still just using the same kind of paper. The other technique that you can do, very, very simple, is just letting it kind of flow. So if I come here and I pour some alcohol kind of there, and maybe some more over here, and I just let it flow. No alcohol on it at all, no additional hand sanitizer or anything like that. And I just let them move into each other. So because it has a little ball in there, sometimes the ball can get stuck up here. Occasionally you'll see me go, I'm just tapping the ball down so I can get it to flow again. And now I'm just letting those alcohol inks run into each other and flow and make their own colors. I can add a little bit of my purple. Ooh, should probably put the lid on better when I do that. Now you know how I got it on my pants. And again, I'm just gonna kind of let it flow. Now it's up to you how much white space, how much negative space you want it to be. If you don't want a lot of negative space, you can just take your finger right in there and start blending it in. Now I just tap a little bit. I could take a little bit more here. I could use the tip of it to kind of move it around. All I'm trying to do is get rid of a little bit of that white space. And even if I tap it, because the alcohol ink is still moving, it's not gonna leave any fingerprints or anything like that. So it really is up to you how much negative space you want, if you want any, or if you want it to just, and I'm just gonna, see, I can just let it flow. And as it moves, it creates its own colors. It's very cool. So I'm just gonna let that flow. And it's coming down, and I could grab some of it and kind of move it around a little bit so that it gets into certain areas. I could grab this down here and kind of move my finger across. But look at how pretty is that. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap to get rid of some of that white space. Maybe a little purple over here. Tap, tap, tap. And all of those little tap, tap, tap marks, because the alcohol is still moving, will soften out. Gosh, that's really pretty. So this one, I just let the ink do it. I didn't use a spouncer. I just kind of moved it around to where I wanted it to be. If I want to add more color, I drop a few more colors on. Let me wipe up my desk. And let's set this one to dry. And I'm still using the same basic synthetic alcohol ink paper. Oh, but isn't that beautiful? This is Golden Age. Okay, so I've got those 4 there. Let's do one more using just regular paper. And it is a specialty paper. It is a non-porous paper. If I were to use this on white paper, let's grab a piece of white. So alcohol ink needs to go on something that is non-porous. So plastic or glass. So if this is regular white cardstock, regular white cardstock. Because cardstock is very porous, I can't move this around at all. I mean, it just will seep in, and that's what you're left with. So you have to use a paper that is meant for alcohol inks. All right, so this time I think I'm going to drop, drop, drop. Now this dances. When you drop it, it sparkles and it shines because it's got that glitter in there that's winking back at you. And because this is a non-porous type paper, I can go in and just smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. And I can pick up where I want. If I want to add more, I can lay more down. And I can just pick it up where I want and as I want. So let's throw some blue in there. I'm not going to clean up that little green. I'm just going to throw some blue in there. And I can smush, smush, smush. So this is absolutely no control. This is letting it all just be. And this is where, from our first time of spouncing, where you got to decide where you put the color, to kind of rolling it around, you know, you spounced and you added some alcohol ink or some hand sanitizer to it, to, I mean, the different techniques. This is just putting it on and letting it roll. Now I'm giving up all my control because I'm putting my ink right down on my craft mat and letting it go. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I will be okay with that. It's fine. It's beautiful. Maybe add a little more green if I want to. Intensify that green up a little bit. Maybe intensify that blue up a little bit. And I know it looks like a lot that I might be putting down, but because so little comes out. Ooh, see? See, I'm good with just letting it be. I'm okay with that. I like it. With alcohol ink, you have options. It's entirely up to you. Obviously, by just letting it run, look at the dramatic color that we get versus, I mean, you get a pretty good color spouncing it, but a big dramatic by letting it run. By pulling it up from your craft mat, same thing. Here you get some highs and some lows and some dramatic color. The more hand sanitizer or alcohol you add to your projects, to the ink, the more diluted it will become and the softer it will become. This one, we started with alcohol on our paper first, and look at how almost pastel-y it is. It's hard to believe that these came out of the same bottle, but they absolutely did. This one had alcohol, or it had hand sanitizer on my paper before I started. This one did not. This one did not. This one is my schmooze. And it's all up to me how deep and how intense I want it to be. I can just keep going in and adding layer upon layer upon layer of ink until I'm happy. Am I happy? Well, I'm happy for now because we have to move on. So, the next paper, this is just his basic, let's see. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Keep going, Stacy. Okay, it's these. Let's grab them. So he has it in like card size. This is 5x7, or the size I've been using that I've been cutting up. So you get 10 sheets. It's 200 GSM, and it is alcohol ink paper. So that's what we've been playing with, just basic paper. Now I want to move on to maybe the translucent paper. Okay, so I have here translucent paper. It looks like a vellum. It looks like a vellum because it's translucent. It's not transparent. You can't see all the way through. It feels kind of like a vellum, but definitely more plasticky. Definitely more plasticky, but the translucent is wonderful. So can you alcohol ink on vellum? Yes, but can you alcohol ink on vellum in the manner that we're doing it, where I'm like putting enough on to make it flow? No, vellum does not like anything that's wet. So you could take an alcohol marker and color on vellum, but adding too much wet will make vellum curl. This is translucent. I love this. And it works, let's see, what do I want to do? It works the same way as the paper I just used, but totally different. You're like, huh? So you can absolutely grab and spounce. So I've got my green on there. And for me to see this, because I'm not on a white background, that's why I brought out my paper earlier. So let's just cut kind of a piece off so that I can see what it is I'm doing. So because I'm working on a brown, so let's do some of it, and that way you can see. So I'm getting a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the purple mixed in with the green. I could throw my green right down, and it's not going to seep right in because it's not a basic paper, a cardstock where it's very porous. But that might be hard for you to see what I've got going, right? Because I'm on a brownish craft mat. What if I took and I just put a piece of inexpensive copy paper below it? Now all of a sudden I can see what colors I'm working on. I can see what I'm doing. And again, you just need an inexpensive sheet of copy paper. Nothing highfalutin. Don't waste your good cardstock on it, because really all it's doing is giving you a background so that you can see. So yes, I can do my spouncing, absolutely. And when you're spouncing, those little spounce marks are going to disappear. They're going to soften out. So anything that you kind of see that is a spouncy mark, they're going to move and they're going to soften out as the alcohol spreads. Let's add some purple. And it gives me a clear understanding of what colors I have down here. If I want more blue, I can throw more blue in. So I could probably do 10 of these with the alcohol that I've got on there. And as it moves and spreads, all of those little spouncy pieces are going to soften out. It's going to soften out. So there's one on translucent. Okay, so I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to grab another translucent, and this time I'm going to do the pour. So let's pour some up top. And kind of let it go. There we go, and kind of let it roll. And then I can add maybe some of my blue here, and maybe some of my blue here, and let them roll into each other. Can you see them rolling into each other? I'm just kind of moving it around, letting it do its own thing. Moving it to where there's any white space if I need to. I want to move those colors. Let's add some blue down here. And let's add some purple right in there. And maybe just a touch of green. And let's just let them work their way into each other. And you just let it be. And I'm just letting it flow. In any place I've got some white space, I can come in here and kind of put my finger in there and move some of this around. And it will soften out all on its own so that you're not going to have any of those little fingerprints. Boop. Maybe just a little bit more purple right here. And just let it flow. There's no right and there's no wrong to this. It's what makes your heart happy. Can you see I'm putting it all down in that corner? All down in that corner. And then maybe I just to fill that in. And let it be. Although I could probably do this all day. I know you don't want to watch this all day, but I love doing this. All right, so I'm going to let that sit and let it dry, and you can see the gold in there. So I'm going to let that one sit. So look at how soft this one is that I spounced. Color's very soft. Look at how much more vibrant the color is here. And can you see it dancing? Can you see it winking at you, that gold in there? And then the last one I'll do in this is I will just kind of smush, smush, smush. See, and you can see it. Look at that. Smush, smush, smush. Pick up, pull down, move it around, pick up, pull down, move it around, and get a nice base coat. Let's get a nice little base coat going. And then let's add some blue. Well, you can see exactly where it's picking it up. Look at that. And I'm not picky. And then let's add some purple. That way it all is the same, so you can see apples to apples to apples. Ooh. So put a little piece of white behind it and let's see what we've got. Okay, that looks pretty cool, right? Got a little green, got my blue, got my purple. They've blended into their own colors. So now I've made 3, and I have this one. So I could take just a little bit of my hand sanitizer and go just a little bit of a mist and then come in here and just kind of pull all this up. Don't know if I've got enough on there to make it worthwhile, but you know what? What can it hurt, right? So I'm a let it be free kind of girl. Let it roll and do its own thing. All right, I think I'm going to let this one just be. Kind of moving it down to that corner and down to my edge where I can just take my finger and just kind of wipe it along. And those colors will soften out as they roll around. Okay, so I'm going to let those go. I'm going to let that be. I'm going to clean up my desk. Take a little bit of my hand sanitizer and pick it up. All right, and for good measure, let's put our lids back on. And green. And blue. So we started, remember, we started just with the white, the opaque paper. Looks beautiful on top. Couple different techniques, depending on what you want it to look like. We have now moved to the translucent paper. And I started with the translucent paper backed on white. So there's the translucent paper backed on white. There's one. There's two. There's three. Still a little wet. Do I want to heat set it to dry it a little faster? You can. You can tell it's a little wet because it's super shiny. So I can take my heat tool. You don't want to heat for too long because the paper is plastic and it will start to curl. Okay, but just to get it done a little faster. Ooh, see? Look at that color. And then the last one we did just playing around. Again, you can see a little wet because it's shiny versus so this is dry and this is wet. Down here, completely dry. Up there, wet a little bit, but again, it's alcohol. It doesn't take long for it to dry. Now, why do I like the translucent so much? Well, I like it because it changes based off of what paper you back it on. You're like, what? It changes based off of what paper you back it on. So let's just cut this. All right, here I've backed it on a teal. Or here, I've backed it on a green. Everything changes based off of what color paper you use for your mat or your foundation of what it is you're doing. It doesn't have to be paper. Maybe it's paint that you're putting this on. So here it is on green. Here it is on blue. It's a totally different look. But what if I also did it on purple? You can't do that with the white because the white is opaque. Okay, now again, it's changed. So from purple to green to teal. All based off of what color backing paper or paint or your foundation is. Here we have on the teal, on the green. See, now that green comes through so much because it's on green. Or on the, now the purple comes through. I mean, it really does change it. And you can't get that with the white. I mean, it's like, wait a minute, are you ready? Slow motion. Sound effects required. Slow motion. You can see the change happening right in front of you based off of the paper that you choose. It's amazing. Love it. So then, I mean, there's this one. So let's do, did I do that one? Now I can't remember which ones I did and which ones I didn't. Okay, so here we have purple. And ready? Ooh, presto, changeo, magic. Hello. And that's on teal. And presto, changeo, magic. You decide what works best for you. You have all of these different things, but what I can tell you for sure is that if I'm using the white, if I'm using the white, not the translucent, not the translucent, if I use the white, there is no presto changeo momento. This I am positive. It looks beautiful, but my gosh. And you can absolutely back it on the white. So if we did the white, so there it is on white. And then we change it to the purple. And then we change it to the green. And then we change it to the blue. The choice is yours. I like options. I'm a girl who loves options. And depending on what we've done will change everything. It really is a wonderful product. I love the translucent because I love the options. And they're all dry now. And the glitter, look Ma, no mess. Glitter does not come off in your hands. So we've played with regular paper from Ozzy Andrew, his synthetic white paper for alcohol inks. We've played with the translucent paper. You know what? I'm gonna do the translucent. Am I? I don't know. I don't have the paper for it. Okay, nope. I don't have the paper for it. I didn't pull out enough background sheets. All right, so let's move on. The next thing I have for you is black. So those of you who have seen alcohol inks before know that there's black craft plastics. There's, I don't know if UPO comes, I don't know if UPO comes in black, but this is a matte black. 2 sheets again. Boy, I'm a big one on picking up 2 sheets. Matte black, completely opaque. Not everything works on a black paper. We've talked about this before. When we're talking about dye-based inks and I put it on a black paper, it just seeps right on in. But when I put a pigment-based ink on there, a metallic, it stands right up. Well, that's kind of the same thing with these alcohol inks because the colors are, for the most part, transparent. So, you know what, let's just do this one right here. And this one. That way we have side-by-side comparisons. I'm big on side-by-side comparisons. I'm a visual kind of girl. So when you give me directions, please do not tell me to go east, west, north, and south. Tell me, you go 2 blocks back past the Kmart, you turn left at the Piggly Wiggly, and right at the Der Wiener Schnitzel, and then you'll see the red house with the blue bricks. That I get. If you've gone to the, if you've gone past the Goodwill store or the Salvation Army, you've gone too far. See, those are directions that I understand. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to play, so I'm going to do side by side. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll start with maybe a yellow. So I've got 3 colors here. I've got the translucent that we've been playing with. I've got the black and then the white. So the black is the one that's the newbie. The white we started with, the translucent we just did. Okay, can you see it dancing? I don't know if the camera can get it. Can you see it dancing and winking at you? It's pretty wonderful. So let's add a little bit of yellow and let's add maybe a little bit of cardinal red, which is a little more pink than red. You really gotta get some on there to get it. And let those kind of flow into each other. Kind of move them around and let them become. And then just for good measure, this might be too dark, but you know what? No guts, no glory, right? This is plum. I'm going to be a little sparing with it because it's pretty color. Okay, so there we go. We've got it on white. Okay, I'm just going to let that kind of do its thing and be. Maybe take a little bit of that and move it on up. Let it soften. Now let's do the same thing on the translucent. Do a little bit of my yellow. A little bit of my cardinal. Not sure how cardinal it is, but because when I think of cardinal, I think of red. It's a little more pink than red, but all right, well, we'll go with the flow. And then a little bit of my plum. And just let them run into each other. Look at how pretty is that. So if I backed it in the purple, because I don't have like a yellowy, if I backed it in the purple, that yellow is really gonna pop. Okay, so now I've got it on translucent, I've got it on white, Now let's do it on the black. So let's start with my yellow. Let's start, well, let's get a little more yellow in there, just to be fair. Let's get some of my cardinal in there. Woo, Stacy, I really should put the lids on. And then let's do a little bit of my plum. All right, so I don't know how much of it you can see. So I'm gonna take my fingers and kind of marry them together like I did on my other ones. I'm treating them all the same. So we are apples to apples to apples. What you get on the black when you're using the regular colors, you see almost all gold. You've lost the color. So you've lost the pretty yellows and the plums and the cardinal. So you don't get that in the black. What's going to happen is when it dries, and you get way more color. You can see it on the white because this one we haven't backed it all yet. Once we back this, then you really start to see the colors come through. But on the black, because these colors are transparent, they kind of just hide on the black, and the only thing you're left with is the sparkly glitter, which is fine. That's fine if that's the look you're going for, but I'm gonna dry this just real quick. So as it dries, again, you're left with just kind of some sparkle and no color. Let's try this one real quick. And here you've got the blends of colors going on. And this one's already dry. And we're good to go. So that is 3 colors on black. Let's put these out of the way. Put them right up here. Let's take our other 3 pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3. So same translucent, same white, same black, only this time we're going to use the iridescent. Is that what he's calling it? Incandescent? I think he's calling this one incandescent. This one's gold. This one's pearl. And this one is silver. They still are golden age, which means they still have gold glitter in them. But you've got silver with gold, you've got a pearl with a gold, you've got a gold with a gold, and almost a transparent. So let's do the same thing. Let's start with the white. Let's give that a good shake. Okay. And I think I'm just going to run these in lines so you can kind of see them. So this would be the clear or the transparent with the gold. So all you're going to see is gold flakes. Then let's do the silver with the gold. And let's do a line. Just so you have a comparison. Okay, now let's do the gold with the flakes. Now they're running into each other, that's okay. And I'm not pushing down, so once I've got some down there, I'm just using my tip to move it around. And I could if I really wanted to, because you absolutely can get in there and use his little blower to move them all around. The blower is a fun tool to play with. I'm trying to keep them kind of straight. The blower is a really fun tool to play with. It allows you to move the ink into different areas so that if you're not big on getting your fingers dirty, the blower is going to do it for you. Okay. And wow, that one really went into it. And last I'm going to do is my pearl. Okay, I got a little bit of my pearl in my gold, or my gold in my pearl. But I think that running them side by side is an easy way for you to see. You know what, I'm gonna let this dry. And while I let this dry, let's do it on the translucent. So let's start, we started with the incandescent. To move, and then we'll go to the silver. And then we'll go to the gold. And last one, the pearl. Okay, so let's dry these before I move to the black. So this is on the kind of the translucent paper. Trying to kind of keep them in a straight line, but well, they're going to do what they're going to do. Okay, there's that one. Let's bring this one back over. Okay, so here it was on white. And you've got the incandescent, which is just gold flakes. It ran into my silver, which has silver and gold. It ran into my gold, which has gold and gold, and then my pearl, which is an ivory with gold. Then we did it on the translucent, and we'll back it in white just so you can see. So I've got my incandescent, which is just straight clear alcohol ink with the gold in it. I've got my silver and gold. I've got my gold and gold, and I've got my pearl and gold. And you're going to have the same thing, depending on what paper you back this on. 1, 2, depending on what paper you back this on, it will change the look of what you're doing. Because this is a translucent paper. So it makes all the difference what you back it on. So I've got it on the white, I've got it on the translucent, now let's do it on the black. And we'll try and keep going in the same order. I'll try to use a little less. I get a little carried away with my shake, shake, shake. So there's the one, that's my incandescent. Then my silver. Then my gold. Which I just dropped a big splat of in my silver. And again, I'm just moving it with my fingers so that I can show you. You're going to be swirling and bouncing and whatever makes your heart happy. And my pearl. So now you have it on black. And it is a dramatic difference than using it on the translucent or the white. Here you just get the sparkle. Here you've got the silver. Here you've got the gold with gold. And the silver's got gold sparkles running through it. And here you've got a cream, an ivory with the gold sparkles running through it. So it's really up to you. Do you like it on the white? Do you like it on the black? Do you like it on the translucent? The options are yours. You choose. What look are you going for? But the best ones to go on the black are the pearl, the gold, the silver, and the incandescent or transparent. Looks great. And of course you can blend these in to make other things. Absolutely. Let's put those, ooh, I'm running out of space. Let's put those right there. I could absolutely take maybe some of my cobalt. kind of smudge, smudge, smudge. And pick up that color. If I want to put a little more down. And then I could come back with maybe my gold if I wanted. And put that down. And pick some of that up. I could even put my gold. So now I've got the two. I've got the gold and I could even put my gold and just let it run. If I wanted to add more veining look to it and just kind of let it run, a kind of a marbly look to it. Ooh, that looks good. And maybe a little one over here. Kind of going that way. And maybe just trailing off just a little bit. You decide, it's your paper. But you can absolutely blend and mix and make them what you want. Can I add a little there? Darken my blue up? Sure, why not? Really pretty. Oh, I bet that would look really pretty. What if we tried that on the vellum and I tried it with a green? It's not vellum, it's translucent paper. So what if I used this verde? Look at that color. Can you see it dance? And I just kind of move it around. I can splash it, spritz it, smoosh it. Add some gold to it. And just let it move and become what it wants to be. But it all has that iridescent gold running underneath it. But yes, you can mix the metallics in with the regular colors, and because they all have that gold accent to them, it's there, but you don't necessarily see it until you move it. And then all of a sudden, it says, wow! And then I can put this, and all of a sudden it starts to say, wow. That's pretty. That's really pretty. And I could put more green if I want more green. I could just go forever. Some gold and just let it run. You have options. Do we want to throw another color in there? I don't know. Ooh, look at that yellow. Oh. Look at that yellow just kind of take a hold. And it's moving underneath the gold, and it's moving that gold. And then depending on what paper I put it on, whether it be white or green, it changes the look. You're like, why did you just do that? I don't know. I wanted to see what was underneath. Oh, so pretty. I just go zoop. Where's my gold? Zoop, right in the middle. Sound effects required. Or I could take my little blower tool and kind of blow it around to what I want it to be. The thing about the blower tool is that it moves things around so that what's underneath will come through. It's a pretty cool tool. I don't know how much everybody else gets for them. He charges, we sell them for $8, and it lets you move that ink around. So if I did it on the black, and I put down some silver. So here's the gold. Silver. I can take my blower and kind of spread it out. I know they make really cool flowers using the blower to kind of get the petals. Like there's your side view of your flower, and then you draw below. But I could also add in my gold. And take that blower and blow them into each other. It's coming out very cool. Maybe a little more silver down. Oh, Stacy. A little more silver. So you think I've used a lot, I know, but my bottles are still full. I want it to go that way, and then that way, and then that way. Oh, yeah. Gosh, that almost looks like a leaf. I could take a die and die cut that and make a leaf out of it. Oh my gosh. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. Let's see. So much fun. Clean my desk. And this one's been sitting here. And this one was the black with all the colors that you can't see now. All you see is the black and the translucent. And even the way it is now, I could come back and I could add I could just add a little bit of that gold. Kind of smear it around and kind of let it sit and run. And then let it dry. What color did I use? Was it plum? Plum. So even though it was dry, I've come back in and I've added again. Just because I can. Totally up to me. So I'm big on inky fingers. I know not all of you are. You can wear gloves. You can use the spouncer to get it done. I just want to have fun and play and make beautiful backgrounds. So the last paper I want to show you from Ozzie Andrew and Couture Creations. Okay, so we've done the white. We've done the translucent. We've done the black. The black is oh so good. But look at the gold on the blue. Oh my gosh, that's so good. But look at the gold on that green. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You just can't go wrong with this stuff. You just have to let your heart be light and enjoy it. Okay, so I'm gonna move these off because I know I need to get into there at some point. Okay, so those are the three colors that we've used. Translucent, white, black. There's still one more paper to talk to you about. Oh, and here's my black samples. Oh, they're all dry now. Oh, does that not just say yummy? Even just the, look at how pretty is that. They just say yummy. Okay, I'm gonna wipe up my desk. I know you're all like, don't do it, put something down. I should have picked the white. Pull it up with something, make something out of that. I can hear you right now. Oh, and that's just cardstock, but okay. Oh. It'll make an interesting piece of cardstock. So that's just cardstock. I just picked it up on cardstock. But see, my glitter's not gonna stay. Oh well, easy peasy. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong paper. Okay, so now the other paper that I have to talk to you from Ozzie Andrew is his adhesive synthetic paper. Adhesive? Yes. So it's white. But on the back, it's adhesive. So the minute you do something with it, it's an instant sticker. Hello. All right, so what do we want to do with it? I think I'm going to cut. Let's see if we can get a few things out. So maybe I start this one. Maybe with a little bit of my sunflower and maybe a little bit of my cardinal. Ooh. And maybe a little bit of burgundy. What do you think about burgundy mixed in there? And And let's kind of move it around. So I want to cover my whole piece of paper. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, still wet, but you can see the glitter. I hope you can. I don't know if you can or not, but hopefully you can see it. So there's one. Let's do this one in my apple green. Can you see it? Can you see it winking at you? Isn't that beautiful? So apple green, and I love my cobalt. Ooh. And my amethyst. Nope, my plum. Okay, well, hey. We're just gonna go with it because, well, because we are. There's no editing here. If it's not perfect, it's handmade. And I'm just pushing them around with my blower. Okay, so we've got two now. And let's do one more. What color should we use? Oh, how about that green and that yellow? And maybe just a touch of blue. So let's just do the green and the yellow and maybe just like a smidge of the blue. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Oh, this is turquoise. Oh, maybe the turquoise. Oh, see, decisions are never easy for me when I have too many colors to play with. Love me my yellow. And then let's do that turquoise. Oh, yeah, I like that. And let's kind of move them around a little bit. Oh, yeah, that works for me. They're going to make a third color all on their own. And now just for giggles, a little bit of the blue. Okay. I almost want just a little bit more of that turquoisey. Okay, I think we're good. So now I've got 3 different little pieces of all adhesive synthetic alcohol ink paper. Let's take them and dry them super fast. Shh, dry, dry, dry. Can't do it too long because it's a plastic, it will start to melt and curl. So what will happen? Okay, so let's grab a piece. So if you heat it too long, can you see what's happening? It's gonna burn. Oh yeah, look at that. So I kept heating this and you saw what happened. You can't overheat it. It will just turn to mush. Absolute mush. It will not turn to shrink plastic. It is not the same. It will turn to mush. So, okay, so I did these 3. And I think maybe we will take maybe we'll take this set and do a couple from this set. Oh no, I'm gonna do this. No, let's do this one in the birdies. Change of mind. Let's do this one in the birdies. So let's take and do maybe my birdie. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to stamp them. I've got the stamp set from Stampendous right there. Oh, I got little eggs, cute little eggs. And so I'm going to stamp them right onto my alcohol ink that is already a sticker. So let's grab these. What am I going to stamp them with? I'm going to stamp them with a StazOn. So StazOn ink is a permanent based ink. It is also an alcohol based ink, which means when you stamp on it, you're not going to add anything more to it. If I stamp on this and then I want to add more alcohol ink to it, it's going to smear because this and this are made from the same foundation. They're made out of alcohol. You don't want to mix them, but you need something that's going to stamp on here and dry and stay permanent. That's a StazOn. So I can't use a Memento Dewdrop ink or a Hero Arts India ink. They won't dry. They'll just forever be wet because this is non-porous. At the same time, once I stamp it, I don't want to add more alcohol ink because it will just become a big hot mess. Now I've got my stamp block and my StazOn. This is a midi, so it's not quite a full-size pad. We happen to like the midis a lot. I think there's 12 colors, and I'm going to decide where I want to stamp. So maybe right there. Yeah, does that look good? Make sure I'm inked. Line it up. where I want to stamp because I can see my design of my alcohol ink. I can see the pattern I've left. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and pull up. It may be a little tacky. Tacky. That's okay. There's my image. You may get a little bit of glitter on your stamp. That's okay. Spritz, spritz, clean, clean. The StazOn ink is a little tacky. But it's what's going to dry. So I did that. Now let's do my nest. Maybe I'll do my nest out of this one. I think I'll go right there. Ink, ink, ink. One, two, three, A, B, C. Hopefully I left myself enough room. And pull up. And there's my nest. Now because this set, well, both the sets have a die, I can cut out my bird. However, it does not come with a die for my nest. So if you want to cut your nest out, or if you just want to stamp it, stamping it, you're going to be fine. But if you want to cut it out, you are going to fussy cut it. It does not come with a die to go with. So the samples you're going to see, we went in there. These are not the best fussy cutting scissors by any stretch of the imagination. And we fussy cut that nest right on out. And I'm not using great scissors to be fussy cutting. I have fussy cut scissors for this. But I want you to see that the set does not come with the die to get the nest out. It does come with the die to get the bird out. And all I have to do is bring over my Big Shot machine. I'm just using my basic Big Shot machine. Oh, I don't need to use a precision base plate. I don't need to use anything special. This is an open frame die. It's a chemically etched die. There's no blade to harm you. It's easy peasy. I can line the bird up right here. I'm not even using a magnetic platform. I'm just gonna go for it. I've got my base platform. I've got my solo shim. I've got my cut plate. I've got my paper, my die, and then a do not cut plate. And I'm just gonna send this on through. Now you could be using a magnetic platform because then you're sure your die is not going to move on your paper. I'm just gonna go for it. It's already kind of abstract because it's alcohol inks. That's awful sharp edge. And now because it is self-adhesive. All I have to do is take the liner off. And put them in there. And bam, instant sticker. The paper for your alcohol inks is already an instant sticker. It's wonderful. It really is wonderful. And easy to do. So let's take those butterflies. Take those butterflies and let's just grab some of the ones I've already done. Oh, but they're not on the sticker paper. All right, well, let's just do some on sticker paper just so I have it. So sticker paper, non-sticker paper, and let's just put down some yellow and some burgundy. Maybe a little pumpkin. I'm just gonna kind of move it all around, let it flow. And for sake of time, dry. Almost. Look at how pretty is that. I mean, that's how fast it has to be. I mean, you can take longer, absolutely, but you can also be super, super fast like that. Just a little bit of my apple green. And move, move, move. And okay, so now I've got a whole bunch to play with. So let's take my stamps. Let's take my butterfly here. Maybe my dragonfly. And let's ink them up. Let's get my gush mat on over. And let's ink up my dragonfly. And let's go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and up. My dragonfly's down, and do I want to do a butterfly? I've got a small butterfly right here. Which size will fit? Oh, that one should fit. Let's ink him up. One, two, three. And then I've got my daisies. All out of the same set. And one, two, three. I've got my daisies. Now all I have to do is cut them. So dragonfly. Ooh. Daisy. Dragonfly. Small butterfly. And let's keep this right here. Just so we have it. Okay, so I've done all my die cutting, or I've done all my stamping. Now to do my die cutting, easy peasy. Bring it on over. I can line up my dragonfly. I can line up my daisy. And my small butterfly. And I'm just going to send them all through all at once. Now you would do a better job of managing your adhesive paper than me. Like, I wouldn't waste any of this. I would cut something else out of it. Hopefully I didn't move them, but you know what? No guts, no glory. Ooh, you can hear it's cutting. Creaks and cracks are okay. For those of you who have never seen die cutting before, your heart just went, oh, what happened? Nothing. That is almost the sound of happiness. 'Cause look at there. Oh, it did move. That's okay. And instant stickers that are alcohol inked with Golden Age alcohol ink from Couture Creations, along with great stamps and dies from Stampin' Die, because when they gotta go, they gotta go. You can do all of this, all of it. Easy peasy, really easy peasy. The only other thing I think I want to show you real quick is, and let's use that stamp. Let's use this one. Okay, so let's stamp on this with my alcohol. I think I'll do it twice with my StazOn. Oh, let me go, let me go. Stacy tape has decided to stick to me. Holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp with my StazOn. One, two, three, A, B, C, up. Oh, I moved. Let's do it again. One, two, three, A, B, C. Now it doesn't matter if you're doing this on the adhesive paper, on regular alcohol ink, synthetic paper, on the translucent paper. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's going to take it a second to dry. So I'm just going to do a quick heat, make sure it's dry. And let's grab some translucent. And maybe we do that butterfly on translucent. See, my Stacy tape got all over me. Be free, butterfly, be free. Let's ink it up real quick with my StazOn. Okay, that way I know I can get 2 out of them. And let's let those dry while we play with these. So remember, I said because this is an alcohol-based product, if you add more alcohol to it, another alcohol-based product, it's going to smear it. These are the cutest little, they're so useful. They really are. These are tiny, the tiniest little paint brushes. And I'll tell you, they're called blending tips. He's got an amazing value on them. There's like 50 of them in here. And I've used them before and they sold out super fast. This time we have more of them. But like I said, if I take a alcohol ink, and I get that in there, and then I come over here, because it's a solvent on top of a solvent. That's dry. But because I put solvent on top of solvent. So now I could clean this. And I probably will, but for time-wise, I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow and just very carefully, I can go in, or with your alcohol ink markers, you can go in and paint. And I'm just dabbing that color right in there, staying away from my lines as best as possible. But the tip is so, I mean, they're just these tiny little brushes. If you've got little detail work to do, these are wonderful because they just let you get in that little area to color. One little dot will do ya. That's a little dot. That'll do you. That'll get you more than you need. And you just go in and paint with your alcohol inks. And yes, you can go in and add a different color, so I'm just going in and painting. That's all I'm doing. I'm not adding so much that it's going to drip and move. I just want to add, just dot it in there. So I don't want to add so much that it's going to drip and move, but I want to paint with it. I want my alcohol inks to have their color. And yes, you can go in and you can blend with them and you can add different colors. Absolutely. And let's see, where's my topaz? I'm just dropping that color in. And then I can blend them if I want. All I want to do is drop that color in. And again, if you've got alcohol ink markers, Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink markers have that have the brush tip on one side and the bullet on the next. You can certainly go in there and just dab your color right on in. Absolutely. Just a matter. What you can't do is take it and put it and think you're going to be able to blend like this. That's not going to work. Can you do it on the translucent? And now I could die cut this out and use it. Absolutely. Sure, I can do it on the translucent. So maybe I take a piece of my white paper just so I see what I'm doing underneath. Grab another color, another one of my little, and just dab it in. The cool thing about the translucent is once you're done with it and you die cut it out, you can bend those wings to make it look like it's flying. And yes, I can certainly blend my colors. I just want to stay away from my outline. You just go in and you just start to paint. Up to you if you want to do that. It's just another way of using your alcohol inks, whether it be a marker or the actual alcohol ink. Maybe you already own Tim Holtz's alcohol inks, which are by Ranger, and they are amazing. I don't think they have golden age, but can you use those alcohol inks with these alcohol inks? Yes. Can you? Everybody's alcohol inks are going to play in the pool well together. They all like each other. They all kumbaya. They really do. You're buying, well, these you're buying because of that extra gold to them. These you're buying because they wink at you and they say, ooh, I've got a little sparkle and shine to it. But can you blend these with the Tim inks? Absolutely you can. You're not limited by a manufacturer. You're going by what colors make your heart happy or what extra finishes the alcohol inks have. Are they metallic? Are they pearlized? Are they glittered? Are they glittered with gold? What is it that you're looking for, and do you want to blend them together? Because if you do, you absolutely can. And then I can take my die, lay it right on top, die cut it right on out. Gosh, that really is getting to be pretty. I do want to finish it, but you all probably want to get me done for today, right? Because I have this desire to just finish. I don't know. Just layer that color right on in and just dab it on in. A little dab will do ya. And it almost gives a watercolor look to it. can even go, I mean, I can just go back in and play until my heart's content. And because I'm coloring, my heart usually is never content. I could sit here and just keep going and going. And then worst case scenario, I go too far, which I haven't. I have by no means gone too far. But my best guess well, the alcohol ink comes all the way off. I don't know that I'll get all the stamped image off. I bet if I did it right after I stamped it, it would have come off. But man, all that alcohol ink sure did come right off. So I've still got the stamped image. But if I didn't like it, all right, so my stamped image is there, but I don't want to waste my paper, but I didn't like what I had. So let's just change it. And hopefully add enough color that nobody will know it happened. And now nobody ever has to know. Done. You didn't waste anything. I love this stuff. Okay, that came out really pretty too. You have options. Oodles and oodles of options. Okay, and I know I said the last thing I wanted to show you, but the very, very last thing before samples I want to show you is an option for the pads. So when you spounce, Ozzie Andrews Couture Creations comes in the little heart shape, which is simply darling. And you can absolutely buy the heart shape pads to go with it. It comes with, I think, 10. Super cute, right? Sits really darling in your little holder. Kind of makes your heart happy. And when you're out, you can absolutely buy the replacements. They're a fine value. I think you get 50. Yeah, you get 50. I don't remember the price. Maybe $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, something like that. You get 50. But if you are a frugal shopper, if you are frugal and you would rather buy 2 more alcohol inks than buy the replacement pads, but you love his little heart, okay, he sells packs of the felt. This is the same felt that was used to make, look at the heart almost disappears in, same exact felt. He sells it. You can buy it. It comes in a pack of 5 sheets. 5 sheets this size. So you've got your heart that it came with, the little one, and then you can take and you can trace and cut them yourself. Done. So if you, in fact, you could go, and then you could go this way, and then the other way. So my guess is you're going to get a whole lot more than 50 if you buy the felt pads. That's my guess. I'm pretty sure you're going to get a lot more than 50. And you just cut them right out. What you can't do is use a permanent marker. So let's do this one here. So I know it seems intuitive to just grab yourself a Sharpie or a Bic. But this marker has the same foundation as StazOn or the alcohol inks, which means when I go to cut, and I cut my, now if you don't want to cut hearts, you don't have to. You could get his little heart tool and cut circles if you want. And your hearts aren't going to be exactly perfect, but really does it matter? No. You just thought the tool was super cute, and it is super cute. Okay, so I have pencil, and I have Sharpie. Pencil, alcohol, pencil, Sharpie, alcohol. You go in there and you use a Bic or a Sharpie or an alcohol marker to trace it. And then you put some alcohol ink on top of it. It's going to grab that color because they match. They're the same component. They start with the same foundation. So if you want them, pencil. Just pencil them. And then you don't have to worry. And you can cut as many hearts that make your heart happy. But if you use, even if you say, oh, Stacy, well, I'll just cut right inside the line. I'm going to tell you, if you have any of that red anywhere, it's going to bleed through. So why take the chance? Right? Why take the chance? Because if you have that red anywhere, it's like a CSI thing. Look at, I sprayed it and it all came, it's like a CSI thing. Pencil? No. Marker? Yes. So up to you. If you don't want to, if you want to save some money and you don't mind doing the labor, then save on these. Get the, I think the pack of 5 is like $5 and it's going to get you way more. But if you are you've got things to do, you want it now, you want to go, I get it, get this. But I wanted to give you options. Okay, so what did we do today? Oh my gosh, I don't even know where half of my papers are. Because we played and we played and we played. And remember, on the translucent, it was like magic. What paper did we put it on to make it magic? Did we back it in the blue? Do we back it in the purple? Which one makes your heart happier? Because it's translucent, you have options. Can you do that with your white paper? No, you can't because it's opaque. But remember, we have so many different ways of playing with the alcohol ink. We can bounce it on. Bounce, 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 bounce. We can swirl it on. Swirl, 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 swirl. We can put it on and let it move all over. Or we can put a little bit of hand sanitizer or alcohol on our paper first and then drop our colors to soften them up. These all came from the exact same colors. In fact, this one came from the exact same color. Look at that with the gold. I mean, we played. I played with these earlier. Lots to be done. These were my samples that I was playing with earlier. Look at how beautiful is that. Put that against this. Oh my gosh. Or maybe not. Maybe you put it against this. I don't know. What makes your heart happy? So we did all of that. Ugh. Yum. We talked about the gold, the silver, the incandescent, which is clear with the gold in it, and how lovely it is on black. And the beautiful things you can do. I just want to cut a bird or a leaf or something out of that. Okay, so he has 4 different kinds of paper. He has the black, he has the translucent, he has the white, and then he has the white that allows you to make a sticker, which is, my samples are here. So, oh, see, I have any more here. I've got them everywhere. And then there's 24 colors of the actual alcohol golden age inks. And these are the latest and greatest. That means he has glitter ones and regular ones, and the pearl ones were stunning. Love, love, love the pearl ones too. Love, love, love. Okay, so here, this is, I don't know how you decide what colors are going to make your heart happy. I can't tell you. Everybody's going to have to choose for themselves. What I can tell you is there's 24 of them. And here are the color swatches. So I'm going to go really slow. So now this is straight on. No alcohol at all on the regular white synthetic paper. So it's not diluted at all. The more alcohol you add, the more hand sanitizer or blending solution you add, the lighter and more diluted the color will be. There's the onyx. So I just want you to see. There's the silver. Some of the different colors. And you can dilute these down to make pastels if you want. And then we have, so the gold and the pearl and the incandescent, which is just like a clear, and this is a snow white. I didn't even get to play with it. It's a snow white. Oh. So all of these colors. And I would absolutely swatch them out so you know what you have and what you want to use. Just know that you can make it more intense by adding more color, or less intense by adding blending solution or hand sanitizer or alcohol. Okay, so we've got those for you. Oh, I better not do that. Elena will be like, well, what did you use and what didn't you use? I hear you, Elena. Okay, so I'll put the ones I didn't use over here. Then we've got all the different papers. So the white, just standard white in a 5x7 size, the standard white in an A4 size, so a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. The cut your own. This is the felt. This is the black. This is the adhesive. And my favorite was the translucent, just because there was so much you could do with it. Loved the translucent. Made my heart happy. So all of that's on sale. All the inks are on sale. All the tools are on sale. So the little foamies and the spouncer and the tool and the stays on in the midi size and the re-inker so you can re-ink it, and the little blending brushes. These are good for just about everything. They're just a good little tool to have when you need to get into some detail work. Those are perfect. So all of that's on sale. And then, gosh, I didn't even get to use it. Darn it. And then I've got the 2 sets from Stampendous that are on a value price. So I'm selling them. We have them as a bundle. I have a few open stock of this one and a few open stock of that one. Otherwise, you're going to get the bundle. And the bundle is $12.99 if you buy the 2 of them, or you'll pay $6.99 each. And they originally retailed for $16.99 each. So you're looking at $34 worth of product for 13 bucks. Not bad. And then you will see in several samples, this set from Stampendous was also used just because it floated my boat. I really loved it, and I thought it so went with alcohol inks. It was just a great stamp. So some of the samples I made earlier that you didn't get to see. Look at how pretty is that. Look at, they're just fun. And look at the gold coming through. Okay, I think that's all that's for sale. And if I forgot something, they'll forgive me, right? Right, let's do samples. So I already showed you this one. And that one. So the background here, that texture looking was done with that right there. And a green stays on middies, probably emerald green. And I showed you this one here. But I also have my butterfly. See, this one is done with that stamp, and my butterflies are die cut out of the translucent. And here they are out of the translucent again. Love the translucent. And here I have a bird and the nest. Now remember, the nest you're going to freehand. The bird you've got the die cut for. And here we took the leaves. The leaves come with the bird. So you get the leaves with the die cut and the nest. And then this was done with the background was made. That stamp set. It's on sale. It's 20% off. And then beautiful. Look how dark and deep. I'm supposed to open this one. Okay. So I've got the bird, I've got the nest, the little eggs come in the set, and you get the die to do the little eggs. And we open it. There you go. And then I have this one for you. So this was done with that stamp there. And then the entire background is alcohol inked. Look at all that gold going on and some, I don't know, was that topaz maybe running through it? And some of the burgundy. It's so pretty. And we've got the dragonflies happening on the translucent. So they look almost ethereal because they shine and shimmer, and yet they're translucent. Really pretty. And here we took white and stamped on the background. So we did the background out of alcohol ink, but then we used white. Cotton white stays on to stamp right onto that beautiful background. And here we took, and again we stamped with cotton white stays on the black, this is black synthetic alcohol ink paper, and then we alcohol inked up a sheet and stamped and die cut. So that all came out of the feather comes out of the one with the bird and the nest. Oh, I don't know. Or do you want it this way? Oh, I don't know. You have options. I don't know. I like it both ways. And then this one, look at this beautiful background. And SMS Girl Renee took one of the tiny little brushes, one of these tiny little brushes, and got into the white ink and put her little galaxy. She just dabbed her little galaxy on and made little stars with these teeny little brushes. Right? Very cool. Isn't that beautiful? And then we have here Thinking Thoughts of You. So the birdhouse has a die to go with it. It goes with the bird, and then the feathers are also part of that set. All done with alcohol ink. Golden Age alcohol ink. And then I do have two layouts for you. So let me back it up. Back. First layout is from Elena. And she did the birds, or she did the butterflies. They're all translucent. You've got the flowers down below. I actually think I might have done those flowers. And the butterflies. So you've got the butterflies and the flowers all on a beautiful layout. Look at those butterflies. And little daisies. Great piece of paper, Elena. Well done in the paper choice there. So that's Elena. And then Claire did this one. Also, great choice of paper, Claire. So she freehanded the nest. She alcohol inked the bird. She alcohol inked all the discs for the sentiment. You've got alcohol ink feathers. You've got more feathers down here. She used the stamp set to add the distressing. You've got the birdhouse. You've got the bird, all done with the Golden Age. She's used them as corners, the feathers as corners up here. Great looking layout, Claire. Both of you did a great job. And then you just move it and you get a little bit of sparkle. All right, you guys, it's me. It's Stacy. Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Oh, commercial free, teaching you about products that are either new to the market or manufacturers that you might not have ever seen before. But most importantly, showing you how to use product that you may already have in your stash. No, you probably don't have the Golden Age. It's brand new. We're one of the very few. I think we may be the only ones in the United States to have it. But you do have alcohol inks maybe in your stash. And gosh, by changing it up and using them just a little bit differently or adding a different type of paper, that translucent paper is beautiful. It changes everything. Or taking a little bit of gold and a little bit of silver and mixing it with a little bit of blue and a little bit of green. Oh, amazing. So join me every Saturday morning, except next Saturday, because it's going to be Christmas. So we will be live chatting, and the YouTube will premiere on the 26th. The YouTube Yummy Cell will go live on Christmas, but the YouTube will be on the 26th. Merry Christmas, everybody. So find me every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Sunny California time, 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. the United Kingdom, where we get all techniquey and have the most amazing time. Maybe you knew some of this already. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you picked up a new trick. Maybe you have a suggestion to teach me a new trick. We're all in this together, and as crafters, we just need to let ourselves be free to play and explore. And always remember, this is your art. It is your art, and whomever you give this to, you're your most critical eye. You are your harshest critic. I guarantee you, if you make something for somebody and you give it to them, all they are going to see is the love that you put behind it. Not that your mat isn't completely squared or that maybe you stamped a little bit crooked. It's okay. It was the love you put into it that they take away from that card or that project, that mini album, that scrapbook page, whatever you've done for them. That's what they take away from it. So be easy on yourself. Go kind. Be kind to yourself. All right, this is a hobby. Woohoo! All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Bye.